There is a stage in this journey almost nobody talks about, because it does not look dramatic. It does not look like fireworks. It does not look like them knocking on your door. It does not look like a movie ending. In fact, it often looks like silence, distance, stillness, nothing happening at all. And that is why so many people miss it. They think if union were close, they would feel intensity. They think they would feel obsession again. More signs, more chasing, more emotional chaos, more longing. But that is usually separation energy. Union energy feels different. It feels calm enough to be mistaken for nothing. And if this message found you, you may be entering that stage now. Because when reunion is truly near, the old pattern starts dying first. The compulsive checking, the need to know what they're doing, the constant interpreting of every song, every number, every glance from the universe. Something inside you begins saying, "I'm tired of suffering." And for the first time, you mean it. You do not say it to manipulate the universe. You do not say it hoping they panic and return. You say it because your soul is done betraying itself. That moment is sacred. Because the instant you stop worshipping the connection above your own peace, the energy begins to reverse. Many people believe the path to union is holding on tighter. Sometimes it is the opposite. Sometimes union arrives the moment your grip loosens, the moment you stop trying to pull them through fear, the moment you stop making them the source of your worth, the moment you become whole enough to walk either way. That is when the field changes, and they feel it, even if they do not understand why, even if they are with someone else, even if they have ignored you for months, even if they appear cold, something shifts in them. Because when you were chasing, they felt pressure. When you were collapsing, they felt distortion. When you were abandoning yourself to love them, they felt imbalance. But when you return to center, they feel absence. And absence speaks loudly to someone who depended on your energy without realizing it. Suddenly, they cannot access the version of you that was always available. Suddenly, your presence is no longer energetically guaranteed. Suddenly, they must feel what life is like without your open door. And that often becomes the beginning of their awakening. This is why many divine feminines say, "The moment I truly moved on, they came back." Not because games work, not because manipulation works, because truth works. And the truth is, nothing magnetic exists in self-abandonment. Real magnetism begins when you become complete. When union is close, strange symptoms can begin. You may feel less interested in tarot readings, less interested in signs, less interested in what they are doing. You may suddenly care more about your body, your money, your future, your purpose. You may clean your house like you are preparing for something. You may feel called to glow up physically. You may feel waves of peace for no reason, then random grief, then peace again. That is energetic recalibration. The old identity is dying. The version of you built around waiting cannot come into union. That version must dissolve first, because waiting energy repels. Embodied energy attracts. You may also notice this. They start appearing in your mind less often. But when they do, it feels deeper, cleaner, less fantasy, more certainty. That matters, because obsession imagines, alignment knows. There is a difference between craving someone and sensing them. One is hunger. One is connection. When union nears, hunger fades, connection remains. And on their side, a different process often begins. The runner starts losing distractions. The people they used to use for avoidance feel empty. The validation that once soothed them stops working. Their success feels hollow. Their independence feels lonely. Their control starts cracking. Why? Because your energy was once helping hold their avoidance in place. When you withdraw from the dysfunctional pattern, they are left alone with themselves, and the self they avoided begins knocking. That can show up as anxiety, restlessness, dreams about you, random emotional waves, memories surfacing at night, seeing your name repeatedly, sudden curiosity, the urge to check your page, the urge to reach out for no reason. There is always a reason. The soul moves before the mind can explain it. Many ask, if union is close, why does it often get quiet first? Because silence is where truth becomes audible. Noise was the lesson. Stillness is the doorway. When there is no more chasing, no more dramatic conflict, no more energetic tug of war, the authentic bond can finally be felt. This is also when fear tries one last time. You may suddenly think, it's over. I feel nothing. I should forget them. Maybe I imagined all of it. Do not panic. Sometimes the ego interprets peace as loss because it was addicted to chaos. Read that again. Many people confuse anxiety with love. They confuse obsession with destiny. They confuse pain with depth. But real love often feels steady, safe, quiet, clean. If you have been addicted to turbulence, peace can feel unfamiliar. That does not mean it is wrong. It may mean you are finally near something real. There is another sign nobody discusses. When union is close, you become less impressed by the fantasy version of them. You stop idolizing them. You start seeing them clearly, their wounds, their immaturity, their humanity. And strangely, that clarity creates healthier love, because you are no longer reaching for a projection. You are becoming available for a real person. Union cannot happen with a fantasy. It can only happen with truth. So the illusion dies first. You may even feel willing to lose them. That is one of the highest frequencies on this path. Not coldness, not bitterness. Freedom. Freedom says, I love deeply, but I do not beg. I care, but I do not collapse. I am open, but I am not available for crumbs. That frequency changes everything, because many runners never felt boundaries from you before. They felt devotion. They felt forgiveness. They felt access. But boundaries reveal value. And when your energy becomes precious, they begin to recognize what was always there. Sometimes they come in softly, a message at night, a random apology, a simple, how have you been? A song sent, a reaction to a story, a run-in that feels impossible. The soul often tests the door quietly before the ego makes a grand entrance. Do not underestimate small openings, but also do not worship them. If union is real, consistency will follow. Near union energy is not just about their return. It is about your standards rising. This is where many fail the final lesson. They begged for contact, then accepted crumbs. They prayed for communication, then abandoned discernment. They wanted love, then accepted confusion. Number. If you have done the inner work, honor it. The return is not the prize. Your transformed self is. And only what matches that self gets to stay. So if they return fragmented, you will feel it. If they return sincere, you will feel that too. Your nervous system becomes wiser near union. You can sense what is aligned and what is not. trust that. Another hidden sign: time begins to feel strange. You may feel them strongly one day and not at all the next. You may feel like something is about to happen, then nothing, then suddenly everything. This happens because energetic events occur before physical ones. The soul lands first, the body follows later. That delay confuses many people. They think because nothing happened externally, nothing changed. Meanwhile, entire timelines are shifting beneath the surface. Remember, seeds split underground before anyone sees green. And if they never return, then hear this carefully. If you reached this level of peace, self-worth, clarity, and embodiment, you already reached union with the part of you that mattered most. From that state, love comes one way or another, either through them transformed or through someone capable of meeting the version of you they could not. That is why you cannot lose. Once you become whole, every outcome serves you. So if lately you feel calmer, if you have stopped obsessing, if you feel detached but strangely certain, if your life matters to you again, if signs decreased but inner knowing increased, if you feel like you could walk away and still be okay, do not assume the story is dying. Sometimes that is exactly what happens, right before it begins for real. Because union is not announced by chaos, it is announced by peace, it is announced by standards, it is announced by the moment you no longer need them to choose you. Because you already chose yourself, and when that happens, the mirror changes. Some rise quickly, some hesitate, some return trembling. Some miss their chance, but you become untouchable in the best way, whole, radiant, free. And that energy is impossible to ignore. If this message found you, you may be closer than you think.